Okay, so before I start, by clicking this video, you have to understand that after watching this video, you will have the whole fucking understanding of how to start any fucking business, how to sell in every fucking possible way that you can do. And literally, being on the top of, that 5 to 10% of industry leaders because you have this insight and you understand everything. So let's just dive in. I just made this video decided to divide in three different parts, and we are going to start obviously with the traffic infrastructure to make sure and you understand that traffic infrastructure is literally fucking blueprint for your house, because you have here a toilet and then you have like a sleeping area, the kitchen, so on and so on. The business and everything that you do has to be structured in that way that it can help you to, for example, a house should accommodate something. You with your business have to give somebody a flow to understand what they have to do with it, how they can go through the structures, and what kind of flow that you have to give them. So you have to pre-build this. So that's why we do the traffic infrastructure as a foundation for your business, and it serves as a digital foundation, as I said. But before you build your content strategy and start thinking about any other stuff or any sales systems, you need a structure that carry your traffic. So let's call this your traffic infrastructure, as I love to call it because it makes sense. Think of this like building a house. The walls, the foundation, the blueprint. Think of it as your traffic system. Without that, you're pouring content into an empty space. If act this way, you will get nothing, literally a $0, and your intention is to make a lot. Your traffic system defines where your attention flows and how it doesn't move. It's a blueprint that ensures your audience can find your content, consume your content as well, and convert into high quality leads, which is most important. And when it comes to content architecture and doing all this kind of stuff, you have to understand that there is a lot of different possibilities out there. But in your mind, I just want you to understand that you have to position that platforms, the social media platforms, as your tools. So each of these platforms that you can see here is a fucking tool. It's a leverage on your fucking client you can use to show your vision, your ideas, your offer to millions of people that are in need of that problem. But you have to know how to use these platforms. And right now you can see the main platforms that I just listed and different varieties. For example, like a clipping sheet, and then the Instagram main account, which I call mother to child accounts, right? You can leverage them as much as you want. You can have 10 Instagram accounts. You can have, I don't know, like 2 YouTube accounts. One for, long form content where you just like vlog your lifestyle, and one extended, like basically telling others how you make money in the industry that you are. Because to connect with people, this main thing with these platforms is to connect with the people, right? You have to understand that the more you post, more you engage on different sorts of content with these people, the higher the chances that you're going to get people into your funnel, and in the end, once they go to under your funnel, with the bottom of the funnel, they convert, right? They pay you money. That's your main goal probably. But there is much more we know than making the money. There's higher goals that you have. So this is the direction that you have to take. Your funnel must be clear, simple, laser focused, and solving one or two core problems. Just in the beginning, that focuses then builds rock solid foundation and drives the major part of your revenue. Because if your foundation, for example, is weak, your whole house collapses and moment you start pouring any traffic into it, right? So if you do not thought about how this traffic is going to act once they come in, they are going to go somewhere else. They're not gonna buy from you, and then all the time and effort and all the commitment that you put in is going to disappear. Everything you should do should position you as an expert. The top 10%, I would say even 5%, go aim for that 5% in your market, in your industry. It doesn't matter you're starting, you're not starting, you have to aim to that. Every post, every collaboration, every podcast is a micro asset that can build and increase and create momentum for you, right? Consistency is not a habit. It's your currency from now on, because if you will think this way, your brain is going to give you different ways of acting on some stuff, and you are going to have that mindset when it's the currency is your fucking the consistency is your fucking currency. Each platform you can see as a mechanism that brings leads to your business. The biggest mistake people make is treating all platforms the same way. So I've seen a lot of guys reposting same shit content to every fucking platform. Okay, they can work somehow, but you have to tweak it a bit so it applies to the platform rules, to the platform psychology and philosophy of people who are on that platform. You on Instagram act differently, okay? You on IG, for example, act differently, but on TikTok, your habits are different. So that's why it should be tweaked. The videos should be tweaked under TikTok, and then IG videos should be tweaked on under IG habits, right? Each one requires a unique content strategy. That said a lot. It doesn't actually require a unique content strategy. For example, in terms of IG and TikTok, but YouTube obviously requires a different content strategy, right? The more control you have on every platform, the more leverage your entire ecosystem generates. So you have to see all those stuff that we just crossed here. This is your whole full ecosystem, right? This is your ecosystem. If water doesn't evaporate to the sky, then the cycle breaks, right? And then you don't have fucking life, right? So if you want to have a life, then you have to have this full ecosystem of your business, brand, whatever it is, that it creates the life. It helps people to circle and connect from one to point A to point B to point C, and then a circle that that drives and builds and gives life to your business. So that ecosystem is basically on every fucking platform possible. It can be websites, it can be, there's so many social medias actually for every sort of people, every type of people. We know the bigger platforms, right? Here, for example, entrepreneurs, old people, people under 30s, young generation people, a lot of info content, business people, as also like personal business, Telegram, a lot of dodgy Russian stuff, so many shit. Once your traffic infrastructure is built, once every road, every platform, every path is connected to each other, everything is connected to each other, now you can pour the content inside non-stop. That is where your ecosystem starts to breathe and become alive. And that's exactly where you make next moves. The optimum content strategy that we are going to cover, the second stage, which is most important. You have to understand there is two types of content. One is an organic content source, and another one is a type of content source. We have to understand from this point, because I've seen a lot of people, they are always crossing out the ads, and they think that the organic content commitment is going to drive some sort of like crazy goals to them. Okay, that has been done, that has been proved that it can do this, but in order to get as much as possible for existing markets, right, and get as much as possible harvest from it, you have to use the ads. This is one of the foundations, that those two things together are a fucking killing machine, right? If you know how to use both of them together, you just create a synergy to produce maximum results, which help build significant momentum and gain leverage on your ideal customer profile. And that is organic content plus paid traffic. You see that shit? here is where you make most of the money, right? You can make money here as well and here as well, but this is the main point where you generate the most amount, okay? So let's start with organic content, because this is foundation. When you will be starting, you will not have probably the budget, and there's not going to be very logical to run ads from right away, day one. Maybe it's not going to be the right way. So you have to at least know, maybe from 2 weeks to 1 month, do the organic content. But this organic content you have to do with specific strategy. The primary goal of organic traffic is not a rapid growth, but rather to establish a foundational authority. The objective is to consistently educate audience within your niche and your industry, ensuring the brand is recognized and positioned in the top 10 or 5% of your industry leaders with your unique edge, obviously. If you do not have your unique offer, your unique edge, and for example, let's say you are selling meta ads to businesses for $500, right? And you're just saying that you do that, right? To certain person, let's say Jeff, right? The Jeff can go to you and get your offer that you're telling them, hey Jeff, I'm gonna run your ads, and find the same offer for $5 to $10 on fucking Fiverr from, I don't know, random guy in Asia, right? So you don't have your fucking unique edge. Obviously, he's going to go here. But if you have your unique edge and you tell Jeff that we use an AI structures that help us track ads, and we do not lose any fucking cent while running ads. We have an AI tracking system and AI, targeting shit, so on and so on, that will guarantee you this amount of leads and so on and so on. Then he's gonna see more value in your $500. That's why he's going to pay you, because you will have a unique edge and unique offer, and you will have like let's call it a purple offer, whatever you want to call it. To achieve those outcomes, we must deploy a systemized content structure. This framework guarantees that the content speaks directly to the audience, driving the results we need, while constantly feeding us valuable data about the ideal customer profile. Get this very, very good. Most people hoard their values, ideas, skills inside thinking they lose something by giving. And that's the dumbest shit you ever have to think. But in the business, the opposite is the truth. You have to start thinking differently. The more you give to the market what it wants, the faster you'll get what you've been chasing all your fucking life. Do you understand that? More you give to people what you want, what they want, more you get what you want. This is very, very, very simple. Now, when I say a systemized content structure, I'm talking about a full ecosystem, as I mentioned in the beginning, a mechanism, a machine where every piece of content serves a fucking role. No random posts. No, let's see what happens. I don't need any guesswork here, right? You have to understand, why you're doing that. That's when the real growth comes in. And a legitimate system that you pre-thought. The structure operates on 3+1 layers, and I'm gonna tell you what is +1 layer very soon. Top of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, and the bottom of the funnel. This is very, very, you can probably you already heard about this, but this is foundation, right? You can make this as much as complicated as you want, but this is foundational. You understand this, you know how this funnel operates, you know what happens on here, and here, then you know how to communicate with people, right? This is a system that helps you say first hi, then tell a story, and then tell them that you can help them, right? Something like that. And then, ask them for certain, amount of money to get their help or something like that. Think of this as a logical pattern as well. That's already programmed in your customers. We human beings are pre-programmed. You have to understand that. One of the craziest things that I've learned through my life is that humans are pre-programmed and we follow certain logic everywhere. We are born like that. If you hack that, then you becoming non-stoppable. By following this, you're not forcing them to act, you are triggering something that's already built in the human, right? You're not reinventing the wheel, you just, trigger something what's inside in them. Any behaviors. Because the humans are pre-programmed to follow logical patterns, as is just said. And that's exactly why we need a systemized content structure, because humans, again, are pre-programmed. Because one of you understand how humans naturally move through information, you can guide them, not push them through a process that feels logical to them. People doesn't like when you push them, right? When you push somebody, for example, to go forward, he will see something is wrong, and then his brain is going to, try to save him, and then he's going to choose another path. But if you show this person, instead of like pushing him, a logical pattern, and you're just telling them, yo man, that's the way for $1 million, and doesn't say anything, and just give him some sort of like a logical brain food, he's going to go there, he's going to go there. So now let's go to that three layers plus one structure. Top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, and the beyond the funnel, which is most important, right? You just don't want to stop here, because dumb people only stop here. Like most money is here. I'd say like 95% of money is here, and 70% of money is literally here. If you miss this, you're missing a lot. The top of the funnel is, you already know, is where you enter their world, you say hi to them. Middle of the funnel is where you reshape. The middle of the funnel is where you reshape their world. Bottom of the funnel is where you prove your philosophy works and give them an offer. And beyond the funnel this is where everything. And the beyond the funnel, this is where everyone stops, but you do not stop. After the sale or even any touch point with your funnel, you keep feeding your ecosystem with the client success stories, community content, and transformation loops, and so on and so on. And if you even close them, for example, you try to upsell them, because every time a person pays you, let's say, $1,000, you already gain his trust, and you can leverage this and then make him pay 2,000, 3,000, and even more, by giving him consistent results. This person is already hooked on paying you money. Each layer plays a specific role. Each of one triggers a different part of a customer psychology, and then you combine them. That's when your content stops being random and starts operating like a predictable machine, as I told you. When you know how to use this funnel, again, I'm going to write this funnel down, then you know how that shit works, and then you can literally get whatever the fuck you want from it. That's the ecosystem that I talked about. And now we are going to the paid traffic system. As I told you, once you reach certain point, like let's say 1 month, right? And then you start using paid traffic, it creates a synergy that, 10 to 20x your results with paid ads. As you can see, in organic content builds trust, authority, and reach, but it's not as scalable itself. You can depend on algorithms or luck and decide your visibility, but paid traffic fixes that, right? It fucking fixes that, because if your video is not going to go viral, but you think, and everybody will say, like, yeah man, that's a viral video, but it still doesn't go, paid traffic will fucking fix that. We position our social media accounts as a funnels, okay? Every post, every story, every highlight is the part of your conversion system that generates you income. So we power that ecosystem using the paid strategies. what I call Omni Evergreen Funnel, a structure that keeps us permanently visible, dominating the industry in Georgia, for example, right? We have an agency, we have all the results shown on our webpage, we have Omni Evergreen Funnel strategy on point, always for 24/7 running and showing and dominating the fucking industry. We first run traffic boosters, simple campaigns that push eyes to our profiles and contents. Literally just only our profiles, no offers, nothing. Then we use retargeting campaigns to stay in front of everyone who's already interacting, and we tell them our stories and case studies. And finally, we lead generate them by giving them a specific offers with a fucking twist that nobody has ever given to them, and they cannot say no because they went through our funnel. I don't believe in collecting cold leads through forms. I force my leads to be as organic as possible by telling them to come directly to my social media, DM me, talk to me. This is how you destroy the distance between you and your customer. You create a human bridge, and this is where the real selling starts. And this is the new way, and a lot of people are missing that, right? You do not have to push people. You just have to find a logical pattern that you can speak of them something, and that's it, man. Selling physical or digital products, sure, drive traffic to your optimized landing pages or high converting websites. That's your battlefield. But here as well, you will see that more years will pass. The conversion rate of just direct come to my website and buy from me is going to drop. And people are going to start, looking for this kind of connections, even with physical and digital products, that are like, e-commerce products, let's say. But if you are a coach right now, nowadays, a course creator or agency owner or someone in the info niche, then your approach is just it's a superior by its design. So this approach, a lot of people doesn't know about it. Yeah, there are some guys speaking about it, and I've seen them, and I highly respect them, and I really love them. I learned a lot from them. But yeah, I was as well doing this before they even started recording the videos, because your power is not just an automation, it's connection and uniqueness that nobody can replicate, and it's because it's just simply you. You cannot fucking replicate me, you cannot replicate anything of this. Yeah, you can do the same fucking presentation, do it, go ahead, right? But I already dominated here, everybody knows that still, if you're gonna record some sort of a video that is, like me, people are going to associate directly to me. So, okay, go ahead. It's just going to play a game for me. And nothing converts faster than a real human interaction, but through your own ecosystem. So, yeah, just build ecosystem, have a content that is great, and then how it goes. And voila, you have basically everything, just literally what we covered here, gives you a bird eye on the fucking industry that you have to do. And now we are not going to dive really deep right now here, but it's a conversion infrastructure. Well, if you can have the best traffic systems, you can have the cleanest content strategy. But if your conversion infrastructure is weak, none of shit matters. Obviously, if you do not know how to fucking sell, nothing is going to work, because what we just covered is just a 20%. And the sales is 80% of your whole business, all right? The biggest problem I see in that, people think that creating content equals making money, and in reality doesn't. It's just one part of a puzzle, just as said in the top. This is what I call conversion architecture. The structure that turns interest into conversation and conversations into clients. When your ecosystem is built right, closing becomes automatic. You don't have to do anything. It's just the next logical step. In other words, selling stops feeling like a selling. It just becomes next logical step. All right. Selling is it's not a manipulation. It's an alignment. If you want to be in top 10%, push being long-term connections. If it takes to say hi today and talk with your client, if you want to know some questions, go ahead, just talk with them, because it's going to compound into something very, very, very valuable for you. I see a lot of info guys as coaches as well. If they see that the client is not ready to pay, God knows what amount of money he has in the pocket. Okay, that's another thing. But these people, ask a lot of questions, to them, and they're like just look them as a prospects, as a cows, to take some milk from it, and they don't want to help them. They don't build long-term connections and sort of like things like that. I totally recommend you to try to connect with these people and being long-term connections with them, because it's going to bring a lot of value for you. For you, your job is to understand the emotional pain behind the logical reason, and then reach out. That's how you build trust, influence, and authority. You're not selling a service; you are selling clarity, and then confidence. Okay, now we will go to like a very simple, but very organized flow that you can copy. I say, okay, let's say you can copy this, but you have to tweak it to your own. Just don't go in directly, doesn't copy. Anyways, this is even a framework, so you will have to, do some stuff from your side. The systemized flow. So let's go. So it starts from DM, then pre-qualification, then a call, and then a close, or even not a call and DM close. DM outreach or inbound lead. Quickly reply to them under 5 minutes or even 10, right? Have somebody, if you don't have time, to do that for you as well. Pre-qualify them by sending them 3 to 4 targeted questions, and then talk about budget, goals, timeline, and problems, and what kind of awareness stage they are. If they suck as a client, if they have money and everything, but they suck as a client, I don't recommend you taking them, because it's going to take 5 times more of your time working with this client rather than, with a normal one. You have to work with normal clients. Then book a call. Use a short micro script. That's setting a call. Basically, that's same shit. Call structure, visual plus voice and leverage. May have to understand that you have a plan how to do a call, and start with understanding diagnosis, then pitch, then with them a decision. So you have to act as a doctor. You have to ask them what's their pain, so on, so on, so on, and then prescribe them a decision. Then you decide in them that this has to be done. We need this and this and this, and then you just position yourself like that, and then it's going to become like it's magically going to become something that people are just following, and this is how you do it. Follow the risk with respectfully and persistent. If they do not continue with you, do not waste your time. Do some 3 follow-ups and minimum 1 reactivation after 7 days. We can do 2 as well. Most people lose sales not because their offer is bad, but because their system is lazy and very slow. Don't fall here, okay? Don't fall here, because they do not come and talk to you after like 3 follow-ups. But if you think that 4th and 5th follow-up is going to be in respectful way, go ahead and do it. If you are lazy to make a research on them, if you gave them enough value, go ahead, search something for them, come back with them, give them more value so you can prove them that you can do this, something for you. I've seen a lot of people like that, oh my God, they're saying like, I was not able to, we lost the client. The only reason that you lost the client because you were not able to show them a fucking value. This 80% is your fucking fault, all right? So if you don't know how to do that, go ahead, learn. Come back and show these people respectfully that you made your own research and you came to them with something valuable to show them. The dual mode, the child closing with call closing, both of them have a crazy good sides. Okay, DM closes, child closings, whatever you want to call it, it's fast and good, but you have to have very, very huge authority. Call closing is very good for high ticket, and I'll tell you why. If your content already created trust, you can close straight from DMs and leverage. But if you want deeper control, move to that call. One call, use visual, tone, and body language you cannot replicate in the text. Yes, you can use a mirror board, a presentation, right? That way your conviction gets transferred to. Sales is not just end of your system. It's just the proof that it works. Okay, get this very, very good. We're not going to cover this in today's video, but it's going to be in another video where I tell you how you can retain, fulfill what you already said in order, to grow. Because if you will not be able to do that, you are going to fail. You are going to get burned out of closing and losing the clients. It's crazy. What really matters is what comes after the sale, the fulfillment, the retention, and the experience. Your main priority should be how your fucking client feels. All right? You have to know this. And this is today's video. Hope this was helpful. Go ahead and subscribe. If you want any help, you can contact me. We can do one-on-one call. All right, I take one-on-one calls as well. I can help you, understand more of this shit, even on deeper level. And yeah, connect with me on Instagram. Go ahead and subscribe as well. It's going to be very helpful. We are starting it. And yeah, thank you for watching. If you made till this part, thank you again for listening to this, and probably you get a lot of value from it. And go ahead and comment something there. It's going to be very helpful for me as well. So yeah, see you in next video. Bye bye.